Good morning. I'm Tom Robinson. I'm with A&O Inc. We are an independent distributor of sinks and faucets, which means I can sell anybody's stuff. We specialize in products not sold on the internet. So when you offer these products to the customer, they can't go and find it online for half or, for basically what you're buying at wholesale. We have two distinctly different products in the faucets. We have Eclipse, which is kind of the higher end faucets. This is the Eclipse KPS 3035. First thing you will notice, it's heavier than anything. Most of your customers will pick it up. They've been going to Home Depot, they've been going to plumbing supply houses, and they've been looking at the faucets. We call it the built-in wow, because about half your customers, as soon as they pick it up, say, oh wow, that's heavy. Except in Kentucky, it's the built-in dang. I asked the lady who said that to me. I said, how many syllables are in dang? And she said, well, we took all the syllables out of Louisville and put them into dang.
Kentucky?
The Eclipse are sand cast stainless steel. I don't want to go into get the technicalities of that, but basically all three parts are made from the same product, the same process. If you look at a lot of the brand name faucets, you will notice that there will be three distinctly different tones of stainless steel in the body, neck, and head, because this is usually foil on plastic, this is pipe stock, and this is cast. You'll see three different colors. So this will all match within itself, and it matches our sinks today and for a lifetime. There is no finish to come off. This can't peel. This is solid stainless steel all the way through. So you can scratch it, which in most cases you can fix it. You can damage it with acid, but acid will damage about any faucet. But you cannot take the finish off. It's not going to peel and become sharp like some of the chrome faucets. All the Eclipse have a spring instead of a weight. Now, a couple of reasons for that is, first of all, if you put a soapbox underneath the push, I don't know about your sink at home, but mine, it's got a million soapboxes and trash under it. This will work even if there's something underneath it. Whereas the weight, if it hits the top of the soapbox, it needs gravity, it won't work. The other thing is this won't bang on the plumbing. Sometimes that weight hits, if the plumbing's just in the wrong spot, it can bang on the plumbing. This is the KPS 3035. A&O started selling sinks to granite guys before they knew they wanted to sell sinks. So when we came out with our faucet line, we designed for what the granite guys told us they wanted. For example, that's full cold to full hot, so you don't have to worry about the backsplash, the wall, the windowsill, whatever. It's granite friendly. You can feel heavy, nice heavy faucet. This is the one you have on display here, 3035.
Hey Tom, where are these made? Are they made in China or are they made?
They're made across the street from the Kohler plant in China.
In China, okay.
You got to pause there, and it's in China.
Yeah.
I'm starting to use that.
To the best of my knowledge, there are no faucets made in America. There are a few that are assembled in America. There are a few German, there's a Swedish one, but the bulk of the market comes from China. Okay, this is our KPS 3029 Shasta. Again, it has lots of solid feel to it. I told you we did what the granite fabricators told us to do. That is full on to full off, so again, you don't have to worry about the backsplash or windowsill or whatever. Even the supply lines are stainless steel. The good news about that is they're solid stainless steel. Some of the plumbers don't like them. They like to be able to With the copper, they can bend them out of the way. The problem with that, when you bend them out of the way, a lot of times you kink them. So they're a little harder. And you can bend these, but you really got to work at it to do it. The good news is they're up there, they're solid, it's not going to move. One thing that Eclipse does that, to the best of my knowledge, they're the only supplier that does, is they supply the water lines. The water lines are the pieces that go from the faucet to the wall. These come with the faucet. Now that, you go to the plumbing supply house, those are $20 and $25 extra item. So this is added value to the product. I don't like to talk about problems, but your customer's going to ask about it because they haven't heard of the brand necessarily. There's only 3 things that go wrong with a faucet. The head. If something goes wrong with the head, we send them a new head. Usually it gets plugged up a lot of times with the well or some debris in the water supply line, but that's as hard as it is to replace the head. The hose can leak. We send a hose, or the cartridge is the most common. The cartridge is it's the piece that turns the water on and off, mixes the hot and cold. And in a single hose faucet, there's only one. In a double handle lab faucet, there's 2, but there's only one. Our biggest problem is when you guys take the sink and faucet and the top out when you're remodeling, you rattle the pipes. Any minerals that have been built up in the pipes over time come loose. If the plumber hooks the faucet up and doesn't bleed all that debris out of there, where does it go? It goes to the cartridge, sometimes it goes to the head. I had a service call one time on a faucet, and I went out there and they said, oh, it's leaking all over. It's leaking in the base, and it's leaking in the head, it's leaking all over. I went there, took the head apart, and there was sawdust in it. Well, believe it or not, we didn't put sawdust in it in the factory. What they had done is they had remodeled the whole kitchen and put in new cabinets, and the supply lines were facing up in the back of the cabinet, and they filled up with sawdust. Well, they just connected to the faucet, and blew all that sawdust right into the faucet. So, first thing the plumber should do is connect this to the wall, put it in a bucket with a rag, and flush all the debris out of there so it doesn't get caught in here. If you get, oh, it's leaking within the first 2 weeks, that's what it is. Now, the good news is we ship them we ship from Arlington Heights, Illinois, so if you ordered it today, as often as not, we try to get it in FedEx that day, so they'll have it the next day, if not the day after. This, I can replace the cartridge on here in about 1.5 minutes. A customer can do it. It takes about a little longer, but we send parts, instructions, and a phone number for them to call. If they have any problems, we'll talk them through it. Our blog has pictures of how to do it. It's got line drawings on how to do it. It's got a video on how to do it. There's a lot of information on how to do it. So, cartridge, hose, head, those are the only parts, all consumer replaceable pretty easily. They're made intentionally for that reason. Now, A&O, our #1 goal, what's the most important thing about selling sinks, selling faucets? You're right here, I'm sorry. What's the most important thing about selling faucets? Would you agree with me that, can I make money and not have problems? Would you agree with that? I would agree with that. Okay. Because we don't sell on the internet, you can put up a fair markup on it. Your customer can't go around you and find it on the internet and have the price. Not have problems. You don't have to inventory anything because if you order it today, we ship next day, you'll have it 3rd day. I mean, Ronnie can tell you it comes pretty quick. FedEx is very reliable, 11 months a year. December, you got to give me a couple of extra days. And the closer you get to Christmas, you have to give me a couple extra days. If you have an issue with any faucet, you don't have a problem, I have a problem. And not somebody sitting in our office, not some engineer, me. You send me the name, address, phone number, what they bought, when they bought it. I will contact them, often within an hour, certainly within a day. If I'm on the road like I am now, it might take me a little longer. I contact them, find out what's wrong, and get the parts on the way. So you don't have to, we'll take care of the warranty. Okay. We have 4 gooseneck faucets. This is the Appleton. Now the Cascade, which is the one you have up in the front by the front door, is pretty much the same faucet. The Cascade has a little ring around the neck, and it's got the handle works differently. Now that handle can be mounted in any direction. All the handles except this one can be mounted in 360 degrees. So if you have it on an island and you want to mount like that, you can. If you're worried about interference, you can put it in the front. Usually on the Cascade, it'll turn above this backsplash. This one can be an issue, but you can mount it on the quarter point or the front. You're thinking, oh, well, if I put it in the front, my hand's going to get wet, right? Except, the faucet is never in the front. The faucet's either here or here, right? Because you got two holes in. This, by the way, is the Poseidon. It's the same size as the Appleton. It's just got a little more detail to it, a little more traditional look. The Hampton is exactly the same faucet as the Cascade, except shorter. It's not smaller, it's shorter. So if you have somebody with cabinets above the sink, or they're worried about they won't be able to see out the window, this is a shorter version of the same faucet. The Hampton and the Cascade combined are our biggest seller. Okay, we've already talked about the Shasta. We have 2 bar faucets. Now all the faucets come, all the Eclipse faucets come with a soap dispenser except the bar faucets. That's the newest one. You'll see the J.J. Fontaine on here. We have this. It's a Jacob Jensen design and appropriately priced. It has no sprayer. We have them. They take 7 days to get it. It's a special order. On the bottom there, you'll see the Pacifica and the Sebastopol. These are nice faucets. We sell this one a lot as a bar faucet. It does pull out, but it does not go from flow to spray like the other ones. Okay, both of those there have that same condition. So it's a little, not everybody likes it for their kitchen because they want it to go spray, but this is a real nice bar faucet. Soap dispenser. The Eclipse by default come with a soap dispenser. You can save a few dollars by not ordering it with it. The biggest distinguishing fact of the Eclipse soap dispenser is it has a stainless steel wick instead of a plastic wick, so that you don't get the breaking issue with here. A lot of times I'll go to showrooms, and if they have a traditional soap dispenser, I'll bet that's broken, and 9 times out of 10 I'm right. They're usually broken. The other factor is we've made this longer so that when they're drilling it, they're putting it in, they don't have to drill it quite so close to the edge, worry about a breakout. If it does drip, it'll drip on the bottom of the sink, not on the edge of the granite down the sink and make a mess. So these come with it. We used to have a stainless steel canister with these. Stainless steel was wonderful. The problem was you had to weld the bottom on, and something in some of the grease reducer in some of the soaps was attacking not the stainless steel but the weld, and I think I saw 4 or 5 leaks in 5 or 6 years, but it was enough that they went to the plastic so we wouldn't have issue. This is a top fill. The customer never has to climb underneath the sink to fill. All the kitchen faucets, where's that cutaway? Where's that picture of the faucets cut in half? All these faucets, because they're stainless steel, you've all probably heard about the lead-free issue. It started in California, now it's gone nationwide. They passed a law that says faucets have to be lead-free. then all the manufacturers put up their arms and said, we can't do that because brass has got to have lead in it. So they changed the law to say you can have up to 1/4% lead in the water channel. Now that's a key note, because a lot of the water lines they put on the bottom of the faucets are copper. So what they were doing was putting 5 or 6 or 7 feet of copper on the bottom of the thing, increase the weight and increase the water line, the length of the water line, so they could get the 1/4% low. Stainless steel is lead-free to start with. There is no lead. It is the only one that is true lead-free on the market. This is the way we used to sell them before we had the other faucets. Faucet in your house is made with brass. Okay? Brass contains lead. Traditional faucets contain between 6 and 8% lead. If there was as much lead in the paint in your house here in Indiana as there is in your faucet, you'd have to warn people buying your house about the lead in the paint, but you're drinking water out of it every day. This is a faucet just like the one in your house. In addition to have up to 8% lead, it's got a rough water channel to build up impurities. This is the inside of a lead-free Healthy Choice faucet. Not only is it truly lead-free, it has a smooth water channel so it doesn't build up impurities. Your family deserves a lead-free Healthy Choice faucet. That video is on our webpage. Okay, in addition to the keep losing my shirt. In the kitchen, that's the kitchen faucets. In addition to the kitchen faucets, we have lab faucets. Again, they're lead-free. You have one on display here now. Sometimes these sell better out of the box than they do mounted because they're so heavy and so solid. The three, they're all the same price. You can take the Rhone Alta. It's 8 inches clear, so if you had have a small, low lap vessel bowl, you can use it for a vessel bowl. But if you do it for a vessel bowl, you have to let us know, because this is our drain system. I'm not going to stop asking you if you don't answer. What's the biggest problem granite fabricators have with lab faucets? The pull-up drain. Hit the backsplash or they don't work. So open, closed. So there's no, you don't have the thing down the middle to catch hair. You don't have to worry about it hitting the backsplash. So it's terrific. If you do have hair in the drain, you just unscrew this and take it out. So you eliminate, not having that pipe running down the middle eliminates 90% of it. Okay, now, if you use the Rhone Alta as a vessel bowls don't have an overflow, and that's what this is an overflow. Okay, we have a technical term. If you use this in a vessel bowl, we have a technical term for that hole. It's called leak. So it will leak. So you have to let us know. We have one without it. There's an extra charge for it because this comes standard in the box, but that's available. This little clip goes on the bottom. There's a threaded rod on the bottom of the faucet. This goes through the threaded rod. You tighten it up as tight as you can, then you put the couple of screws in there to put back pressure on it. That hole keeps it from rocking back and forth. This is a little tool that comes with every faucet. A lot of times the plumbers steal it. This is to take the aerator. No, that is not a screen, it's not a filter. What it is it makes the water flow straight instead of flowing all over the place. But you can use this tool to take that off and clean it out. The last piece is, this is a spacer. If you have like a direct top mount sink or something where the surface is thinner, this is just a spacer to put it on. You don't use it with granite. If you do, it causes problems because it gets off center, and so this is only for use in thinner tops.
Don't you also come with a plate, just in case?
The Freendo do.
Okay.
We're still on the Eclipse.
Okay, all right.
Eclipse only comes in stainless steel because it's not a finish. It's solid body stainless steel all the way through.
Okay.
Everybody understand that? Okay. Now, I told you A&O is an independent distributor. The problem we were having with Eclipse Faucets was people with, particularly with the granite composite sinks now, they were asking for oil rub bronze. And Eclipse cannot get the oil rub bronze to stick to the stainless steel over the long haul. I had a designer friend of mine told me, well, that's a living finish. That's not living finish sounds better than wearing off. Well, this was a little too living. It lived a too little. So we were looking for a faucet that we could, first of all, with a quality we could live behind. Remember, if you have a problem with a faucet, I get the call. So quality was real important to us. The second thing is we had to find a faucet that wasn't sold on the internet so you guys can make money. A quality faucet was much easier to find not sold on the internet. Because everybody today, a couple years ago at KBiz, we had a big sign, not sold on the internet. We had every distributor wanted to sell our product. We had all our competitors want to know how we kept it off the internet, and every 20-something guy wanted to help us get on the internet. So these are not sold on the internet. Occasionally they do show up where somebody, a fabricator, puts it on the internet. We're real good about getting that shut down. A couple of differences. First of all, you can feel this is a more traditional foil. Okay, this is a finish. Okay, this can come off. These are about $100 less per unit, and they do not come with a soap dispenser. They have the traditional weight. The advantage of the traditional weight is it does go back if they're installed correctly. The bad news is, I don't want to, if you do have the plumbing in just the wrong spot, it can, and if there's something underneath it, it doesn't work. You can mount these in any direction. This is our Oakbrook. This is taller than the Eclipse faucets. You can see it's a little taller. It's right here. But because the pipe is smaller, it reads a little thinner. But again, if you have an issue with a cabinet or something, we have Arlington. This is a little smaller. It does have kind of a doggy paw shape. I'm sorry, a seashell shape to it. All the other faucets, with the exception of the Oakbrook, have this little seashell shape to them. This one is not. We're going to fix that before I leave. So, that's a little shorter, and it's got a little different detail to it, but same thing, you can mount it 360 degrees. This is a pull-out faucet. Now, you can see real easily okay. And I brought that other one. You can see the difference in the two finishes. That's brushed nickel. This is oil rub bronze. It's a real nice, and it works real nice. A little lower end price-wise. This faucet is the Wheaton. This is your lowest price faucet. We threw this into the mix. If somebody is looking for a faucet, they're putting granite in their house to sell their house, which a lot of times happens with a lot of our customers. Here is the lowest price faucet. Not a bad faucet, it's just a little lower price than the other ones. Okay. In the lab faucets, these are really nice, heavy, solid body faucets. They're not yes, you can go to Home Depot and buy one for $25, but you're not going to get the weight, you're not going to get the warranty, you're not going to get the solid body feel of those. You have the brushed nickel on display, and that's the oil rub bronze. We have the three-hole Brookfield. We've had great luck with it. It comes in, again, both oil rub bronze and brushed nickel. Now these do have the traditional pop-up drain with the plug on them. I have to tell you that we've had these about a year and a half, year ago January, and I don't have a single I sell against it, but I don't have a single complaint on that issue yet. So. And finally, our Hanover. Again, those are our lowest price lab faucets. If you're selling a remnant to somebody putting it in their kid's bath and they're not real particular about what the faucet is, that goes with it. Now, this is a traditional soap dispenser. They come with a warranty. If you have an issue with a soap dispenser, the manufacturer will send you a whole new head. They don't just replace the wick, but you can see that's the difference. Now, they run about the same price as the Eclipse, only because of the packaging. If you look on the boxes, this is the Eclipse box, and it's got a spot for the soap dispenser, so when we ship it, with or without the soap dispenser, we ship it for about the same price. With those, there's no place in the box to put them, so we have to ship them separately. Because of the shipping, they're a little more expensive. And they're not included in the purchase price of those. And with that, I believe I've covered everything. ANOsales.com, you can download brochures on every Eclipse and every Freendo faucet. There is, size, dimensions, and everything right on there. It's a PDF, so you can email it if you send it to a customer. But they're all downloadable. There's parts list on there as well. If you would like, we do have a Dropbox with all our literature in it, including DXF files and everything you need. And a link is available for that. We have a blog that we publish once a week. We talk about all kinds of issues. I think this week's was on what's a check valve and why do you need one. But all kinds of faucet and sink related issues. We have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/Eclipse Stainless, where we have a lot of videos on sinks and faucets, and even we have a whole section on granite, what's a fissure and what's the difference between granite and marble, and a whole bunch of videos that we did with Granite Wholesaler up in Chicago. And that's my presentation.